Some time ago I made an episode about the 5 things that I don't like with my Tesla Model 3. Now I got a request to do 5 things that I like with my Tesla Model 3. Let's see, that's difficult because there is more than 5 things that I like with my car. Well, let's do the top 5 things that I like with my Tesla. First, let's clear out something. For anyone new out there to my channel, to Tesla and to the Model 3, this is not a traditional car that runs on petrol or diesel. There is no hole even to put any gasoline into the car. Tesla's is only pure electric cars that you have to charge like a mobile phone. Many of my benefits are related to this fact. So let's start with number 5. Well, an electric car doesn't pollute the surroundings with a lot of noise. I mean, it doesn't have this rumbling noise from a combustion engine that when you turn it on is and then you start driving the car. Here it's completely quiet. Unless you don't have a car with artificial noise that must make the noise that the lawmakers have forced onto the EV cars. But my car doesn't have this artificial sound, so it's quiet and it's really enjoyable to drive this car, especially in slow speeds. So let's see here, I will just start the car here and I will be reversing a little bit here now. Let's see, I reverse like this. Now I put the reverse gear here and I start moving the car. And you see, it's completely quiet. And that is so enjoyable. It's so great with the car. Well, you hear a little sound, but it's not this really annoying sound from this combustion engine. Number 4. The acceleration of an electric car is the best thing of all. It's actually happening something when you're pressing the accelerator. My version of the Tesla Model 3 has an acceleration time of 4.5 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. The car is accelerating direct, instant torque. And that thing I can't get over. Every time I sit in my car, I feel so happy that is actually happening something when I'm pressing the car. Maybe you saw my episode some weeks ago when I was driving a diesel car far up in the north part of Sweden. I rented a diesel car there because I was flying there. One thing that I notice is when I'm pressing the accelerator, nothing happens. Look here. I pressed maximum and then it suddenly starts accelerating. And I was pressing this gas pedal and it took 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds and then the engine like rumbled and started to accelerate slowly. But here you just press it directly. When someone is coming into my car and wants to try out my car, the first thing I tell them is that be careful on the accelerator because the car will go directly as soon as you press it. Just press it very lightly. Number 3. Maintenance on an electric car is, it's very little maintenance, especially on a Tesla. They don't even have this service program where you have to service the car. The car will tell you yourself when it's time for servicing. I mean, if you go and look under a combustion engine, as you can see, as you saw in the beginning of this episode, when I was driving the car out from the garage and there was nothing interesting to see under this car. Well, you have the wheels on the side and then there is this flat bed of batteries. nothing at all to see. If you look at under a combustion engine cars, there is enormously amount of difficult, complicated things under the car, with the exhaust system, with the engine, with the oils, with the fuel tank. Everything is extremely complicated, and you can stand there and watch it for hours, checking how complicated and different things there is to see. But here, there is nothing. Completely nothing, just flat.
Number 2.
Charging possibilities are one of the most important things for an electric car. Well, most of the time you are not charging the car on the road. Most of the time you have the possibility to charge it on a slow destination chargers, either if you have the possibility to do it at home or in a public place. But when you want to go on longer trips, it feels great that Tesla fixed this thing with charging, that they have developed their supercharging network in such a scale that is global. You don't have to think when you're going over borders to other countries. If there is different standards, or if there is any other paying methods, everything is set into the Tesla Model 3, and there is one standard and is one system, and you don't have to bother about it. And that is really, really great. Standardization is a good thing. This is why we have standardized so many other things in the world.
It's actually very seldom you need to go to a supercharger, just on those long distance trips. Then you just plug the car in, wait for half an hour, and then you're ready to go again. It's so great with my Tesla that you do not need to go to a gas station.
When having another electric car which doesn't have the possibility to supercharge, you have the issue with different type of standards of charging plugs, and maybe that is not a so big problem, but the paying methods with this different apps you have to use to start charging, it makes it difficult and a hassle for the people that drive other EVs today. Maybe it will be better in the future. Let's hope so, because we need more brands than Tesla on the market. Also, there has been discussion all the time during this, why aren't other brands allowed to charge on the Supercharger network? Well, the reason I think is that Tesla has said that other brands are welcome to charge, but they do have to adapt to our standard of charging.
And that is difficult for all the other brands to adapt to, because there has been developed a standard that is fundamentally different from the Tesla standard, how to charge and how to bill the customer.
With the Tesla brand, the intelligence is in the car. It's in the car the billing is taking place, and the charger, the supercharger itself, is quite dumb. It's just taking the power, giving the power that checks that this is a Tesla, and if it is a Tesla, it communicates and it charges whatever car is coming there. And then the car is seeing, okay, you're charging so much, and then we will bill you for this amount of money, or if you have free supercharging, we will not bill you. So the intelligence is in the car. But all other brands, they have their intelligence in the system, in the charger, in the cloud, and the car is dumb. The car is just taking the power, whatever you put into the car, and this is the reason why it's so difficult for other brands to adapt to the Tesla standard, because then they have to build so enormously huge software to move the intelligence from the cloud into the car.
Number 1. The environment aspect. The electric car is so efficient, the amount of energy needed is only a third of what a combustion engine car needs. On top of that, the energy can be produced in an environment-friendly way, not adding any extra carbon dioxide to our atmospheric circulation. In short term, the fuel is not adding to the global warming effect caused by rising levels of carbon dioxide.
it's clean, and now my car is also clean on the outside, but it's clean because there is no tailpipe in the car. And this is, of course, when you're driving in the street, it's good for pedestrians that is walking around the car, that they don't feel the smell. But I think most of the people don't really react to this, that, oh, this car was not smelling. I think people are more reacting to that when the car is smelling very bad, then they feel that this is something that they don't like, but they don't appreciate something that they don't see or smell. But anyway, this is good for our health, and also the local health. When you're just going out through the car to pick up something from the trunk or something like that, and you open the trunk, and very often you're dropped off somewhere and take your things from the trunk, then you feel this sticky thing in the car from the combustion exhaust that is coming from the tailpipe, and it doesn't feel very good. But here you don't have this issue. Here it's fresh air all the time.
That was my 5 things that I really like with this car. But there is so many more things. Let's have a bonus thing. And that is that the car drives itself. The autopilot. I have talked about the autopilot in several other episodes, and I will link to one of them now up in the right corner of the picture. So if you would like to know more about this superb feature, the autopilot, go and watch that now. This is a great feature that helps you driving, especially on long distance trips.
Was this a good decision to buy a Tesla Model 3? Will I buy a new car again if I would be in this position that I didn't have a Tesla and I should buy it? Do I regret it? Definitely no. Every possibility I would have, I would buy this Tesla Model 3. And I'm happy that I did have the possibility to buy this Tesla Model 3 1 year ago. And I do not regret. I did have so many good moments in this car. And it's so great. And if you would like to buy a Tesla Model 3, you can do so also by going to the tesla.com website. And when you finally decide to buy the car, use my refer link. It's just a small thing, but you will get some free supercharging to your brand new car when using a refer link like mine. Also, if you like my channel and like the material that I had here and want to continue following my electric adventures in the world, please don't hesitate to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time, have a great life.